Hi there, how's it going? My name is Dan Schwartz with InvestorFuse, and on this video, we're going to discuss the main objective of the real estate entrepreneur. Now, what the main objective is the ultimate form that you want your business to take. All the work that you do as the entrepreneur of setting up the systems, of learning the skills to generate cash, of hiring people, of scaling up your infrastructure is the main objective. And unfortunately, a lot of people get stuck in the complexity of their business, doing stuff willy-nilly, that they never really actually are able to break out and build an operation that can scale without them. And that is the main objective of the real estate entrepreneur. And I'm going to show you with the REI Operations Matrix the three areas that we see most real estate entrepreneurs hanging out in, and the one area of how to set up your business that will give you the most possible leverage and peace of mind. So there's two spectrums here on the REI Operations Matrix. There's complex and simple. How complicated is your operation? How simple is your operation? Complex meaning, dozens of different tools, a lot of different VAs and people that might be stepping on each other's toes, and really just no documented anything. On the other spectrum, there's willy-nilly and systematic. So are you doing things off the cuff, or are you doing things in a processed way? And we unfortunately come across most people that are new to this business hanging out here in the confusion zone, where they sign up for every possible tool. They're always trying new things out, and they're doing stuff with no particular order, and as a result, they're not getting any results, and they're just walking around confused like this emoji. Shiny object syndrome, analysis paralysis, inconsistency, right? Since you're flitting about from one thing to the next, you're never really focusing on one thing that's going to be driving revenue and growth, and that's going to cause a bunch of wasted money. Since you're not really measuring the output of your business, you're not going to have any tracking in place. You're going to be even more confused. And when you hire people into an operation like this, you're going to have high employee turnover because no top talent wants to work in a confusion zone landscape. And when you're operating in the confusion zone, you're really just depending on luck. When you're doing your deals day to day, when you're sending out your marketing day to day, you're really just going off the cuff and really depending on luck that when you spend $1,000 on that text message campaign, you're crossing your fingers and just hoping that all the stars align for you to get that money back. And that's no way to run a real estate operation. So we also see some folks hanging out on the top left, systematic and complex. So complex meaning you still have a bunch of tools in place, but now you have a bit of a process to actually handle stuff. And what we're finding is that people end up in tech hell, and it's actually overcomplicated systems that they have in place that keep them from really breaking through to the next level. They get stuck in tech hell, kind of like this guy that has a really complicated contraption for a very simple thing like putting toothpaste on his toothbrush. So you're going to have scattered systems, dozens of different tools that you don't really know how to use fully. It makes it hard to adopt when you hire someone onto your team. It makes it hard when they have to learn 10 different systems to get really proficient in each one. Requires a lot of thinking, right? So as you do your day-to-day, for instance, in Podio, which is connected to Globiflow, and there's all these different zaps coming into it. If one thing breaks, the whole thing is gonna come crumbling down. And it requires a lot of thinking when you have to go into a complicated tool like a Podio, and you have to think like, all right, what's my next step here? I got to go to this area. I have to look at this lead, make sure that I rely on memory to choose the next action. And it just requires a high learning curve. And it makes it a lot harder to hire people into that and assume that they're going to do their job correctly. Messy handoffs between employees. It gets expensive, right, when you have all of this technology in place. Rigid processes, meaning that there isn't really flexibility for the exceptions to the process. And you have to follow this like rigid process that isn't always the best way to handle it. All right. You want your employees to be able to think for themselves and to think outside the box if there isn't a process for something. Over automated. So you actually might have an over automated operation right now. And if you try to over automate something that is already inefficient, it's just going to magnify the inefficiency. Now on the bottom right here, now you have a simple setup, meaning you don't have a lot of tools, you don't have a lot of team members in place. However, you're still doing things willy-nilly. And you're juggling and you're spinning a bunch of plates like this guy, and you're really just putting out fires every day willy-nilly. And what that typically looks like for most real estate entrepreneurs is a centralized and bottlenecked operation where you are the guy or gal in the center making all of the decisions, and the growth of the company relies on you to execute everything and make all the decisions. There's no processes in place. Everything is inside of your brain. You're really just shooting from the hip. And when you do this endlessly, you eventually will burn out. And this is why a lot of people fail, because it takes consistency to be successful with real estate investing. And brute force will only get you so far. So you might feel like you just simply can't get ahead because one person doing like a bunch of different departments in your business, you're going to be mediocre at each different department. You have poor tracking and just inconsistent everything. Brute force Bob is who we call this, the person that refuses to let go simply because you're just too busy doing all the day-to-day stuff. And I understand, I've been in that situation myself. And sure, it's a great way to understand the ins and outs of the business, but it's no way to scale to the next level, to that 7-figure and up mark. And really with these two yellow boxes, these are where most investors fall into. They fall into these, and they're typically in the 1 comma club, meaning they're making in the thousands, maybe 100,000, because that still has a 1 comma, and they're not really able to get to that double comma 7-figure mark consistently. 83K per month is what it takes. So how do we get up here to the top right, systematic and simple? Well, this area is called focus zone. This is where everybody on your team has clarity of how they're supposed to execute, and everyone knows exactly what their role is, and everything is predictable, measurable, and systematic. And when we have this, we have clearly defined targets. You know exactly what you're shooting for. Your goals are not only spelled out and communicated, but reverse engineered into your dashboards. Decentralized, meaning that there isn't any one person that is driving the whole ship. Everybody in each department is responsible for that department and is accountable to a specific KPI or key performance indicator. So if you went on vacation, your team would still be able to function. Your business is an efficient assembly line at this point. Instead of you spinning a bunch of plates, it's more like a conveyor belt. And it's managed by the numbers. You're looking at your dashboard and you're looking at the goal target and you're seeing if you're on track to hit that goal or not, and making decisions and executing on projects necessary to hit those targets. And when you are able to manage by the numbers with this level of simplicity, you're chasing what's called the golden ratio. The golden ratio is when you can spend $1 and predictably you know exactly how many dollars are going to come back. That really is the point of business. It's you're going to spend $1 into your marketing channels and you know exactly how much you're going to make in return, and you can scale that as much as humanly possible. That's what the goal of business is. You're going to have specialized roles, meaning everybody in each department is the specialist for that one thing, and they can focus on that one area like acquisitions or dispositions or marketing or admin 100% of the time, instead of being the decentralized bottleneck or being the centralized bottleneck that has to be mediocre at each of those elements. And when you have specialized roles, then your team becomes world-class and you're able to get deals done at a high level, which means that you're going to be able to attract top talent. Top talent wants to work in a systematic and simple operation. and it makes it a lot more scalable. So the goal, if you're in tech hell or in confusion zone or in brute force, is to dial in your operation so that you're in focused territory. And you're going to use leveraged automation to do that, meaning you're going to not be over automated, but you're going to use automation for the right parts of your business to enhance the human element of your business. So what if you could actually get all the way to the top right? 10 out of 10 systematic and 10 out of 10 simple, and hang out right up there. What would that be called? Now, this is the ultimate destination for the best entrepreneurs that I know. And what this area is called is the 80-20 magic zone. Inside of the 80-20 magic zone, as you are leading your company, you are only doing $10,000 plus per hour work at this point. All of your time is extremely leveraged for high dollar per hour, very valuable work. You're doing work that you're great at and comes naturally to you. At this point, you really think about your business as an asset, not as a job. Not as a job where you're self-employed and just working more hours than you would if you had a regular job working for someone else. At this point now, your business is an efficient assembly line asset that has equity, and your job is to grow that asset using your brain and turning money into more money. At this point, you're free to innovate. So now you can look at your business from a 30,000-foot view, and you can use your innovative brain to come up with new strategies or endeavors or side businesses that feed into this, or new crazy marketing ideas. You're free to innovate and expand and improve and optimize what you've already done. Or you're free to recruit really, really smart people. So at this point, you're going to be surrounded by the smartest people that can help you do that. For instance, if you wanted to all of a sudden create a piece of software that made the best possible online marketing pay-per-click system, well, you can hire geniuses to come in and help you set that up now, because you're free to innovate and you're spending your time on high leverage things because you have this predictable, focused operation working underneath you. This is the ultimate goal of being a top real estate investor that can scale their business to that double comma 7 figures and up. So the main objective is to operate in that 80-20 magic zone. And what we do is help investors get to that point. If you're in tech hell, confusion zone, or brute force territory, we can help you architect your business to run in that focused zone. We can help you build the infrastructure necessary to run your business in the 80-20 magic zone. And I want to talk with you if you're interested in doing that. You can just go to investorfuse.com/8020apply, /8020apply. If you go there, you can schedule to speak with me. I want to learn a little bit about your business, about where you're looking to go with your business, and if you're willing to make this transformation to the type of entrepreneur that can build a business, work on your business and not in your business, and really create this leverage situation for yourself. That's what I'm passionate about, and that's what we're really good at internally here at InvestorFuse. So I'm happy to talk with you and give you some clarity around where you want to go. And if you're a fit for our 80-20 Investor Academy, I can explain a little bit about that as well. So hopefully I'll hear from you on these calls. Just visit this website, pick a time on my calendar, and we'll talk soon. Thanks, and I hope you enjoyed this video.